Royal fashion has always functioned as a visual language, one shaped by tradition, power, restraint, and symbolism. For Meghan Markle, style has remained a central thread in how the public interprets her journey, even years after stepping away from formal royal duties. In 2025, Meghan's fashion choices existed at a crossroads between legacy and reinvention. No longer bound by palace protocol, yet still framed by royal memory, each appearance carried layered significance. This countdown explores the best and worst Meghan Markle outfits of 2025, not as a judgment, but as a study in modern royal style. Through elegance, missteps, bold statements, and quiet moments, these looks reveal how fashion continues to shape her public narrative, and why it still matters in royal fashion history. At number 10, the neutral monochrome suit at the Policy Conference. This sharply tailored monochrome suit marked one of Meghan's most deliberate returns to structure in 2025. The clean lines and restrained palette echoed the visual language of diplomatic royal fashion, where authority is communicated through precision rather than embellishment. The tailoring suggested seriousness, discipline, and intellectual credibility, a look designed to be read before it was admired. Public reaction was largely respectful, though emotionally muted. Some praised the professionalism and composure, while others felt the outfit leaned too far into corporate minimalism. Symbolically, this was fashion as armor, a protective uniform that projected competence and control. It may not have stirred emotion, but it became memorable for its clarity of purpose, reminding viewers that royal fashion is often about message over mood. At number 9, the flowing pastel dress at the Women's Empowerment Forum. At a Women's Empowerment Forum, Meghan appeared in a pale blush dress with fluid lines and understated detailing. The softness of the silhouette contrasted with the gravity of the platform, creating a visual conversation between empathy and authority. Pastels have long been used in royal fashion to convey approachability and emotional openness, especially in public-facing engagements meant to build connection. Reaction to the look was divided. Admirers described it as graceful and emotionally intelligent, while critics felt the muted palette diminished visual impact on a large stage. The dress sparked broader discussion about femininity in power dressing, whether softness weakens authority or redefines it. That unresolved tension is precisely why the look lingered in public memory. At number 8, the Black Minimalist Ensemble at the Cultural Memorial. Meghan's Black Minimalist Ensemble at a cultural memorial stood as one of her most disciplined fashion moments of the year. Clean tailoring, restrained accessories, and an intentional absence of embellishment conveyed solemnity and respect. In royal fashion symbolism, black carries historical weight, signaling reverence, remembrance, and collective gravity. The media response was quiet and largely approving. There was no controversy, no spectacle, and no stylistic debate, which in itself was the success of the look. It reminded audiences that fashion does not always exist to be admired. Sometimes its purpose is simply to honor the moment without intruding upon it. At number 7, the beige trench coat reappearance. The beige trench coat, now almost inseparable from Meghan's public image, made yet another appearance in 2025. The silhouette was familiar, controlled, and almost ritualistic. In royal fashion, trench coats often symbolize transition. Garments worn between roles, between visibility and protection, between scrutiny and self-possession. Critics questioned the repetition, calling it predictable or overly safe. Admirers, however, viewed the consistency as iconic royal style, a deliberate signature rather than a lack of imagination. The trench coat's power lies not in surprise, but in symbolism. It reflects restraint, composure, and guarded vulnerability, making it unforgettable through continuity rather than novelty. At number 6, the ivory silk blouse and wide-leg trousers. This ensemble represented one of the most balanced expressions of Meghan's evolving style. The ivory silk blouse referenced traditional royal elegance, while the wide-leg trousers introduced modern fluidity and movement. Together, they created a dialogue between heritage and autonomy, respectful without being restrictive. Media reaction was notably positive. Commentators praised the harmony of the look, noting how it honored royal aesthetics without replicating them. Ivory, long associated with ceremonial royal dresses, carried symbolic weight, while the relaxed tailoring suggested freedom. The outfit resonated because it felt thoughtful, a visual acknowledgement of the past without being confined by it. Before we move on to the top 5, if you enjoyed deep dives into royal fashion, iconic looks, and the hidden meaning behind what royals wear, make sure you subscribe to Royal Fashion Files and like this video. Here, we don't just show the outfits, we explain why they mattered. Now, let's continue. At number 5, the bold red column dress at the Charity Gala. Few colors carry the historical authority of red in royal fashion, and Meghan's structured red column dress embraced that symbolism without hesitation. The silhouette was commanding and vertical, designed to hold space rather than shrink within it. Red, traditionally reserved for moments of visibility and confidence, made this appearance impossible to ignore. Public reaction was overwhelmingly admiring. The dress was praised for its clarity of message and emotional confidence. Symbolically, red signaled authority, presence, and intensity. This look became unforgettable because it felt intentional, fashioned not as ornament, but as declaration. At number 4, the oversized neutral suit that sparked debate. An oversized neutral suit worn during a speaking engagement became one of the most polarizing fashion moments of 2025. Supporters viewed it as modern, gender-neutral elegance, a rejection of rigid tailoring norms rooted in hierarchy. Critics argued the proportions diluted visual authority and overwhelmed her frame. Traditionally, royal fashion relies on sharp tailoring to communicate discipline and control. This suit rejected that language entirely, embracing fluidity instead. The controversy was less about fit and more about philosophy. It challenged the idea that royal-adjacent fashion must always conform to structure, making it unforgettable through debate rather than consensus. At number 3, the midnight blue evening gown at the Global Summit. This midnight blue evening gown echoed classic royal dresses while maintaining modern restraint. The high neckline and subtle draping conveyed seriousness and composure, while the deep blue color reinforced themes of trust, diplomacy, and stability, all fitting for a global stage. Media commentary praised the craftsmanship, but remained divided on emotional warmth. Some viewed the silhouette as dignified and commanding, others found it emotionally distant. The gown became memorable because it walked a delicate line between reverence and rigidity, illustrating how restraint can be interpreted in multiple ways within royal fashion. At number 2, the ivory embroidered gown at the International Arts Benefit. This ivory embroidered gown marked one of Meghan's most universally admired fashion moments of 2025. The fabric moved effortlessly, the embroidery added depth without excess, and the overall effect was one of composed grace. Ivory, long associated with ceremonial royal dresses, gave the look historical resonance. Public response was strongly positive. Observers noted how the gown balanced tradition with freedom, echoing royal aesthetics without feeling constrained by them. It served as a reminder that elegance does not require excess, only intention. At number 1, the emerald green statement dress of 2025. The most unforgettable Meghan Markle outfit of 2025 was the emerald green statement dress worn at a major humanitarian summit. The tailoring was precise, the silhouette authoritative, and the color rich with symbolism. Green has long represented renewal, resilience, and growth, themes closely tied to Meghan's evolving public narrative. Media reaction was immediate and intense, largely praising the look's confidence and emotional alignment with the occasion. What elevated this dress above all others was cohesion. The setting, symbolism, and styling worked in harmony. In the language of royal fashion, this was storytelling through fabric, grounded, intentional, and complete. Royal fashion endures because it reflects more than aesthetics. It captures history in motion. Meghan Markle's outfits in 2025 illustrate the complexity of dressing beyond the monarchy while remaining tethered to its symbolism. Her best looks honored intention and emotion. Her more controversial ones challenged convention. Together, they tell a story of evolution rather than perfection. In the end, Meghan's fashion remains compelling not because it conforms, but because it continues to invite conversation. And in royal style, that enduring dialogue is what makes an outfit truly unforgettable.